stop learning new things, professionally or personally, it would mean the end of life. Learning makes us think. Thinking provides us knowledge. And is there an end to what we do with knowledge? It would be the end of life. Learning makes us think. Thinking provides us knowledge. And is there an end to what we do with knowledge?
Learning is the only thing.
Soil India.
Really?
मेल लिखा कैसे लिखा?
What about pyar and mohabbat? Hence, learning and love are the only two things that are not bound by age. And with that note, good morning. Sorry, good evening. Now, okay, so these guys are our fellow graduates, right? Fellow students. So good evening, fellow graduating students. The emerging leaders program of 2006. These guys are our fellow graduates, right?
Why did you get fat? We would like to.
Preeti, and just talk something. That's it. That's it. With mic. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah. Oh, it's fine. It's being lightweight. That is good. That's fine. Yeah, I could just testing.
Yes, whatever. Check. 1, 2, 3, mic check. I can sit with my laptop and ask questions. I'll do some work.
She's giving me the kidding, yeah.
Maybe I should have seen almost that one. This is Manish Sharma का एक personal related. Manish Sharma का थोड़ा सा बता दो.
Panasonic के CEO में देखते हैं.
Just go on. You also come. Hey, you're the background. You should be.
So let's give up the podium.
Okay. We will shoot in the So through Google, so you just connected the YouTube account.
So on his last line, he'll say, to give pinnacle of success.
So is this chat now or on the chat?
But as you touch the pinnacle of success, do not let go the very ground you stand on.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
Let your feet leave the ground.
Then his height.
So you welcome me. NB के बारे में भी बताना चाहिए. Highly recorded. Leave chat again. नहीं वो बड़ी देंगे वो पैसे दे देंगे ये करने की जरूरत नहीं. I just say highly regarded. ठीक है. ELBP है ना?
Emerging Leaders Booster Program.
Booster
ये
program.
बोल रहे हो ना?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emerging Leaders Booster program. Ashish.
ELBP.
Start करना है. नहीं, one second. Good question.
चल.
भाई सुनो ये. श्रींगी. नहीं, मोबाइल. श्रींगी.
They say ignorance is bliss. If that was the case, one may wonder, why do people seek for knowledge? Continuous learning is a process of life, the pinnacle of attitude, with a vision to aim for the sky. The day we stop learning new things, professionally or personally, it would mean the end of life. Learning makes us think. Thinking provides us knowledge. And is there an end to what we can do using that knowledge? Learning is the only thing that is not limited by age.
No, that's not true.
Why?
What about pyar? What about mohabbat? There is absolutely no age for pyar and mohabbat as well.
Well, okay.
So that means learning and love are the only two things that are not bound by age. On that note, good morning, good evening, everybody.
Good evening, who?
Oh, yeah, you are our fellow students, right? So good evening, fellow students graduates of the Emerging Leaders Booster Program 2016.
And Karan, why are you forgetting the faculty?
Yeah.
Aren't they the reason why these guys are graduating?
Okay, if you say so.
Yeah, say that.
Okay, if you say so. So, good evening, faculty of Sir as well. On that note, let's start today's program.
I say this. On that note, we would like to begin today's program by inviting the youngest, most experienced member of the Soil family, along with A.N. Bhattacharya sir and Mr. Manish Sharma to light the lamp. Youngest, most experienced, A.N.B. Manish Sharma. Next is A.N.B. sir.
So, now let's welcome Mr. Atindranath Bhattacharya. Atindranath Bhattacharya. He's the program director for Emerging Leaders Booster Program 2016 and a highly regarded professor of marketing. Let's welcome him and give him a big hand. Ali Sudeep.
Good.
And now, let's welcome Mr. Manish Sharma. Executive Officer, no, he's not the Chief Executive.
Can you all please come in front of the camera?
Sir, it's being streamed live.
Live streaming is going on.
We just many people. Yeah, thank you, sir. Yes.
నువ్వు అడ్జస్ట్ చేయడం వచ్చు కదా మామూలుగా సేమ్ ఏం మాట్లాడుతున్నా సేమ్ ఎక్కడన్నా బ్లర్ వచ్చిందంటే ఇదే
Make them stand there and background where you can see that
Yeah.
congratulation ELBP take a group picture.
You all can sit there, right?
Huh?
Yeah,
They can
that
sit
will be
there.
better, yeah.
That will be better. And inside from upper they can take their group picture also with that
Oh, okay.
that person.
Just a minute. Dinesh. Yeah. We're not sending to you. Kaveri may be sending. Yeah.
Sorry, one.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Here? Again? First row? First row.
तो जो भी फर्स्ट आएगा उनको प्राइस देना पड़ेगा 40। सुधीर ये कहाँ से हुआ ये print number कहाँ से नहीं नहीं ये कहाँ से पूरा नीचे स्टाइल I'm mailing those. All are you? What time is this?
करके मैं जैसे एक मिनट अटेंडेंस मत
She's really helping us a lot of happiness.
I was like, there's a lot of fun these days.
She's a breathing expert. Okay. Please.
They say ignorance is bliss. If that is the case, one may wonder, why do people seek for knowledge? Continuous learning is a process of life, the pinnacle of attitude with the vision to aim for the sky. The day we stop learning new things, professionally or personally, it would mean the end of life. Learning makes us think. Thinking provides us knowledge. And is there an end to what we can do using that knowledge? Learning is the only thing that is not limited by age.
No, that's not true. What about pyar? What about mohabbat? Pyar and mohabbat know no bound for time.
Well, okay.
So that means that learning and love are the only two things that have no boundaries of age. On that note, good morning. Good evening.
Good evening, who?
Fellow students, good morning or good evening, fellow student graduates of the Emerging Leaders Boosters Program of 2016.
And fact, why are you forgetting the faculty? Aren't they the reason why these guys are graduating today?
Oh, well, if you say so, good evening, faculty.
On that note, we would like to begin today's program, inviting the youngest, the most experienced member of the Soil family, along with Professor N. Bhattacharya and Mr. Manish Sharma to light the lamp.
So who's the youngest?
Youngest, who's the youngest?
Manish is the youngest. Who's the youngest? Rahul. The tallest is the youngest. Please come on. And who's the oldest?
Who's the most experienced from the batch?
And now, we would like to welcome Mr. Atindranath Bhattacharya. Okay. So we would like to call Naila to say a few words.
Hi, good evening everyone, and welcome to the ELBP Convocation Ceremony for the batch of 2016. I would like to start by congratulating all the participants for their achievement. I have had the privilege of being a part of this program for the entire 8 months, so I'd like to give you a brief recap of the journey. So, 23rd November 2015, the day this joyous journey of learning began. And what a journey it's been. The first contact week had the main core business excellence module in marketing. It was coupled with 3 enriching sessions which introduced the participants to the world of self-leadership and how being aware of your strengths, development areas, and your values, coupled with being able to actually influence your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions are a prerequisite of actually effectively leading others. The second module of ELBP was conducted in the serene environment of the Chennai International Foundation in Kochi. Apart from the beauty and the peace of the venue, I would say the highlight of the second module would definitely be Bhavesh's 3 days on finance. It was as if he came with his magic wand and made all these complicated finance concepts seem so easy. Mr. R.R. Nair's session on coaching skills development was also extremely insightful. He taught his participants concepts on the grow model of coaching, and the participants actually went back to their organizations and coached someone that they were genuinely interested in coaching and developing. These sessions were then recorded, and in the second session on coaching skills development, Mr. R.R. Nair actually evaluated these recordings and critiqued them, which actually further reinforced their learning skill concepts. The third module was the business excellence concept. In the third module was strategic thinking, where they even took part in this business simulation, which actually gave them real life exposure as to operations, all sorts of other business finance and other business concepts in a simulation environment. But I would say the highlight of the third module was definitely Kanupriya's session on executive presence. Her insights on presentation skills and listening skills were, I think, particularly fascinating. And last but not least, in the fourth contact week, we had 3 sessions on successful negotiations by Disika Mani. I think they went absolutely amazingly. His knowledge on the difference between persuasion skills and negotiation skills, and the tips he gave on successful negotiations were extremely interesting. And the way he reinforced the learnings with his role plays and interesting games was also, I thought really interesting. And so these 4 contact weeks went really well. They were also supported by one-on-one coaching sessions, action learning projects, leadership series, parties, and other fun-filled activities, which made the entire ELBP program of memories, full of memories, which would be etched in their minds forever. This entire program, I feel, for the participants, interacting with them for so long, I feel, it was a very vigorous 8 months, but I'm sure it was equally enjoyable for all of them as it was for me. I saw that these guys, they sort of, it took them hard work, commitment, and a lot of sacrifices to actually, successfully complete the projects and the other assignments and the readings and were given to them for all the modules. And on the other hand, simultaneously also, meet deadlines and their other responsibilities in their workplace. And I really admire that balance that these guys, were able to maintain. It's been a pleasure interacting with all of you, and I wish you all success in all your future endeavors. Thank you.
And now we'd like to invite Professor Atindranath Bhattacharya who is the program director of ELBP 2016 and one of the most highly regarded professors of marketing.
Thank you, Karan. So you exaggerated a little bit that most highly rated faculty of marketing. Good evening, all of you. Which you would be probably they have been with 10 months of 1 week off and then 1 week of togetherness and trying to sort of rediscover the potential that you have and how you can actually use it for the betterment of your organization. So Naila actually gave a very good brief of the entire program, and I would like to take a few more from the various other programs that and other colleges run. The biggest highlight of this particular program is the first day when we had the caliper session. What we really aim at is, we say that there are 3 primary pillars in the development of an individual. The various skills, get to realize this also, that we actually focus heavily on it is actually technology changes, markets change. Now we say that it is transient. WTO comes in or liberation happens. Character is something which is there to stay. Competence is something that you have to keep building. As and when the world changes, as and when the technology changes, you will have to learn that new technology. I started off my career, we never had computers. So I learned it after my first job. And then I used to use computers through WordStar, Lotus 123, and we never had a mouse. And we used to use the keyboard. Now from that time till today, when we are using all those entire things on our palm top, this is something which is on the line, the character. Yes. Now, how does the caliper help you in this? We say that caliper helps you to decide, okay, this is the point of time, this is where I have to be. Now, if I'm at this place and I have to be here, what are those stepping stones to which I have to go? And I feel that during these 4 modules, in addition to that competence building part, we also gave you those certain steps which you have to tread to reach to that point of life. And in that process, we had self-leadership classes by yesterday. The CEO of the and he, in a nonchalant way said, yeah, in fact, some of my colleagues, they are in your program and they are doing exceedingly well. Now, when I hear this, and I remember the type of project Hemant did, so I was really, sort of feeling that, okay, yes, here is a man who, in fact, knows I have to create some significant impact in my organization. And he has created that impact on all of you. And this has been the trend in the past also. and it would be that in the future also. All ELBP participants would make significant contributions in their organizations post this particular program. And I'm proud to say that all of you, whatever projects you have done, the feedback that I have got, the feedback has been extremely well. I take this opportunity also to, I think I have to introduce Manish also. So I'll take this opportunity to introduce Manish. Manish is a dear friend of soil. He has always been soil. And all of you know, all of you have companies, things are common. Whether it is Industar, whether it is Schneider, whether it is Manipal, whether it is ICICI Bank, whether it is Panasonic, we actually associate with companies who are genuinely aligned as far as values are concerned. So Manish comes from one of those companies. He's one of the youngest leaders in this industry. And you would be amazed that he would be as young as many of you. And he's currently handling the entire South Asia for Panasonic as the president and the CEO, if that is what is the designation. And Panasonic has seen to create that is amazing. And with those words, I would say that it would be a great opportunity for you also to learn from whatever Manish has done, and probably post the lecture, maybe you can network to understand if there is anything you can pick his brains for this. These words I would like to thank all of you and congratulate all of you for doing this.
Thank you, Professor. Good evening, guys. How are you feeling? Feeling good? Yeah, so it has been often to me all this while I was thinking that is there a relationship between experience and capability? And I got an opportunity to work with some great global leaders. And with those opportunities, I tried to understand that is there a relationship seriously between or age and the capability which you acquire. Still, I'm not very clear about the answers. I'm 44, I'm not as young. So, try to do the best bit of what I can. So, utilizing this opportunity, guys, I will quickly run through the memory lane, and I'm sure that you guys will pick up something which might interest you in terms of understanding that how I went through my journey. So I'm an engineer by qualification, and not as lucky as you would get the opportunity to sort of reinvent myself and upgrade my skill sets to the level I'm sure you would have done during this program. So I passed out in 1995 from a government engineering college in Madhya Pradesh. While you get yourselves interviewed, that where do you see yourselves in next so many years? And this question came across to me as well when I started off the journey to get myself associated with the organization which continues to excite me. So I started off with a company which was a joint venture between a Korean company called LG and an Indian company, those days, Hotline. They were into color picture tube manufacturing, and they used to say that CRT manufacturing was second most critical process after semiconductor manufacturing. So I was extremely excited joining that company. Because I was an engineer, I started off with the manufacturing and the engineering process. This exposed me not only to the multinational culture, because there were several expatriates coming out of Korea to stabilize the entire process, to set up the manufacturing facility. So in that process, I picked up a lot of analytical skills. The entire process was very, very complex. So this helped me to understand analytics. This helped me to understand the significance of efficiencies and also to understand the human behavior. So those days, when we started off, and the multinational culture was evolving because towards the early 90s, government has relaxed the FDI norms and a lot of multinational companies are coming into the country as wholly owned subsidiaries. And in that process, goes to the international practices, the processes, and we were dealing with sort of unskilled manpower of India at that point of time. So it was an extremely opportunist environment for me, and we were getting exposed to multinational processes and lot of capabilities to understand that how the Indian workforce needs to be managed. I continued with this company for about 5 years, and while it was a subsidiary of LG Televisions, which was based out of Noida, was one of our customers, and so were the other television companies. So I used to visit these companies to understand that how the product is, and also to provide the output. During these visits, when I used to make to the customers, somehow I found interest towards sales and marketing. And I was probably feeling that one of my core competency, which I'm not utilizing to the full extent, is towards sales and marketing. And then this thought started to culminate in my mind that probably this is not what I should be doing, which is into manufacturing or production or engineering or quality control. Then somehow I came to got an opportunity to work with Samsung, and in this process, I acquired capabilities to understand, and Samsung was extremely eager to customize the products based on the Indian requirements. So one of the major challenges most of the multinational companies still face is that they push their global products to most of the markets across the world. And India was much different. Just to quickly give you a sense, those days, India was an evolving market even for curved televisions, whereas most of the multinational brands were phasing out curved televisions, they were moving to flat and also to the panel televisions. Similarly, when you look at air conditioners, the global markets were moving to split type air conditioners. India was evolving as a market of window air conditioners. Still, it does. So there was a huge contrast between the global demand and the global kind of requirements, especially in the developed economies, and what India needs. Coming to India, got shifted to hire and started off with product management to establish the portfolio of televisions. I worked with hire for about 4 years, and probably that was turning point of my career because I could shift myself about 9 years down the career at that point of time towards what I was wanting to really do. And then I understood that yes, that's my passion and that's what I want to do. And then I started to understand that probably, and I think it was mentioned before also, so learning is a never-ending process. And I understood that I need to really acquire to do what should be done in a proper way. continued to work with Hire for about 4 years. Various challenges, various opportunities, various learning opportunities came my way. And typically, you can understand during 2004 till 2008, probably made in China was not as accepted as it is today in the Indian environment. So we're facing a lot of challenges. Trade partners who were accepting us with open arms while working 9 years with Korean companies, the leading companies, were providing adequate resistance to accept the Chinese products which we were proposing those days. So in this process, we could really understand that how we should carry out manufacturers. They are marketers. When you look at China, they are manufacturers. So this made the entire scenario much more complex. While I grew up, and I'm sure while most of us grew up, we had a fascination towards Japanese products. And Panasonic somehow was extremely dominant over last probably 10 odd years. So starting till 2008 or 9, the brand was virtually sleeping in the Indian environment and probably globally also. So I'll give you a perspective on that also a little later. So towards 2008, the opportunity of Panasonic, and I started off as the head of marketing in 2008. Those days. So in 2008, the brand was about 300 odd crores in the consumer space, and then we recently acquired Anchor Electricals, which was about 700 crores at that point of time. So we were doing about 1,000 odd crores in 2008. A quick reflection, we did crores last year. So we could do 8 times in about 8 years. So just a quick reflection on why, despite of being a global, very extremely strong brand, why Panasonic was not doing well in India. Machines. So I get also in the country, and I remember myself working for a Korean company, going ahead and buying a Panasonic telephone those days. Corporation decided that they will get out of mobile phones from all markets except Japan. And simultaneously, they also decided to get out of all the technologies which were phasing out across the developed economies. So primarily the televisions, which are the CRT ones, then the twin-tub washing machines. India still continues to be a 70% market for twin-tub washing machines. We decided to exit in 2002. We decided to exit in window air conditioners, and so on and so forth. Because of which, Koreans took a lot of advantage, and Panasonic in 6 to 7 years became pretty weak in the Indian market. But corporation then realized that, of course, India is a massive potential, and they decided to reinvest. And rest all is a story. We're doing very well. We have been catching up on market share. So that's about me in the past. Today, when I was coming over, I was thinking that what I should be talking about, and Professor spoke about some of the values. I completely agree to you, sir, that we share a lot of values. And while I was reading across, I'm sure that these are the values, soil's core values. So I think I should be talking something which is common. So mindfulness, you spoke. And I could notice when I was coming in that there was a Navy class going on the ground floor. I think this is very, very important. It's a hyper-connected, extremely socially connected world. And I personally believe that the human brain is probably not ready to take up this kind of situation. And world is changing very, very fast. So this is one of my advice. So I would probably give some advice. So this is also we have to invest at least an hour every day, every morning on ourselves, especially looking towards mindfulness. So I'll not explain what mindfulness is. I'm sure you understand it better. But it is a sincere advice to all of you to really invest. When you talk about social networking, I mean, this might be my views, whether it is an advantage to the humanity. Of course, it's an advantage. I mean, you get connected, and it's a digitally connected environment. the information is going on at this point of time. But it is important to understand that how do you utilize it to your advantage. So I've noticed that while we all feel proud of our belief, have to be really. So that is one advice I would like to give. I will not dwell much upon this, but it is extremely important to be mindful and to invest at least an hour every morning on ourselves. That is one. Compassion, while we create success for ourselves in our life, it is extremely important, and I think this is the biggest value which Panasonic reflects. The founder of Panasonic was only 17 when he left his home in Japan. Started as one of the reasons he got early success was innovation. Those days, one of the challenge of the households in Japan was that they used to have single sockets for the bulbs. So he designed a socket which used to have two sockets. So in that sense, you can utilize the other socket while the one goes off. So it was an innovation in those days. We started off in 1980. So another 2 years, Panasonic will be about 100 years old organization. However, one of the teachings which the founder of Panasonic gave, so I reflect upon few more while I move forward. But the most important ones was, he said about 60 or 70 years before that in few years Panasonic may become a very large organization. It is extremely important for all of us to remain a humble merchant. So he used to be a humble merchant probably when he started off. To remain a humble merchant, irrespective of the fact that how big the organization becomes in the time to come. And sometimes when I read upon Konosuke Matsushita, who is the founder of Panasonic, it amazes me. When he was 32 years old, he drafted a 250-year plan for the organization. So that kind of vision was there in people who created such large organizations. Ethics. We spoke about negotiation skills. We spoke about a complex environment. As an organization, in the country, we are about 85 businesses and only 15% of our revenues are coming out of B2B businesses. We are pushing the B2B space pretty heavily. And this is one of the topics which I am also keeping on my top of priority. So irrespective of whatever success we may create in our organization for ourselves, it is extremely important to remain ethical. So I'll not again talk much about it. I'm sure you guys understand. Sustainability, Vimal would have spoken about it. We also push sustainability in a big way. And again, reflecting upon my organization, we are pushing technologies which are environment friendly. And when I talk about B2B space, just to quickly give you a reflection, I'm sure most of you know Panasonic as a consumer brand. However, almost 72% of global revenue. So globally, we are about 82 billion US dollars. 72% of the global revenues are coming out of the B2B space. One third of the B2B space comes out of the automotive space. So we are big into infotainment systems for cars, the sensors, the fuel sensors, proximity sensors, car batteries, navigation systems, and then we are also getting into EV now. So the partnership with extremely diverse organization. When we look at our capabilities in Japan, whenever I visit Japan, I feel that we make virtually everything which is being sold to the consumers to become driving diversity of the portfolio which we propose to the consumers. And in that sense, we are having three focus areas. Apart from the consumer space, where we are anyway progressing in the right direction. So first one is energy storage. And I personally feel that this is a huge challenge for the community, not only in India, but globally also. So on one side, energy, nuclear energy which would be created. So that is one. And second is for the mission critical applications, whether it is hospitals, hotels, or those kind of applications. So we are pushing the energy storage in a big way. And I'm sure in the next 8 to 10 years, EV will be a huge market. So that will also create the requirement for the energy storage. Second is security and surveillance. So homeland security, we all understand, is a huge challenge. And apart from that, the enterprise security and the cloud-based security system. So that is the second. And focus, which is mobile devices, and also while we move forward, how do we create capabilities of IoT and artificial intelligence. So these are three focus areas where we are now diversifying as an organization. And you spoke about the culture of the organization. It is extremely important. I'm sure you all will be leading and would be leading teams in your respective organizations. We in our company play a lot of focus on creating culture. And of you is needed. We are extremely challenged, which we very briefly were discussing, that how do we maintain a good culture within the organization, and how do we in that process ensure that we retain good talent. So we pay a lot of focus, and there's an excellent program which is running in our organization called Panasonic, which is primarily an engagement platform. And one of the need for organizations is to look at going beyond engagement. And I'm also considering that this would be a need for organizations to look at and chatting across to understand that what is the next level, and probably looking at the peak of people and bringing in the happiness quotient to understand that how people and why people would feel happy coming into the company every morning. So that's another trust which we are giving, because I believe that and I'm sure that everyone will agree that people make the entire difference. So that's about me and the organization. Couple of advices to you guys. I personally believe, the management and the leadership skills in a good way. But a couple of basic advices, what I personally believe, and coming from me, if you have to achieve something, so people would have told you have to set your goals. I'm sure everyone would have a clear goal in your say that level. But I believe that if you have to reach somewhere, you have to just walk. It is as simple as that. So that is the first advice, extremely basic. Because sometimes I have noticed my fellow colleagues, or sometimes this situation happens to me also, we get so bogged down, and sometimes the environment is very stressful. Don't stop, just keep walking. And I'm sure that you will reach where you want to reach. That's one. Second is, I learned, and again, this would be, you guys would be shocked that why Manish is giving such basic advices. I learned in soil. And this does not happen with everyone. And this is probably, I'm sorry to say, one of the weaknesses of our community, which is we have to be disciplined. And managing time is extremely important. This was one of my huge weaknesses before I got into soil. So I underwent a year's training with Anil. This was about 3 years before. And a huge transformation happened in my thought process itself and the way I was managing my own time. Managing time is very, very important. And I thoroughly believe, I'm sure you all will agree, time is the biggest resource. Time. Most of the time we believe probably money is the biggest resource, investments are resources, products are resources. Of course they are. But probably time is the biggest resource. The best utilization of time would give you the best of the results. But how do we plan ourselves? How do we remain disciplined? So this is one of the challenge we as a community, as an Indian community. So how the world is looking at us? Probably world is looking at us as intelligent people, extremely analytic, hardworking, very intelligent. And therefore we guys are doing very well across the world. We have to improve upon our discipline. We have to improve upon our time management skills. That would be my second advice to you. So probably I'll sign off by mentioning another few other one of mentioned. There were two which I can follow by myself. The first one is start a new day every day. It's extremely important, and I'm sure you guys are intelligent enough to understand what does this mean. So start a new day every day. That is one. And second is human potential is limitless. We should really believe that, and we should believe in ourselves. Answer to everything what we want to achieve lies within us. It is extremely important to reflect upon ourselves continuously. We spoke about continuous upgradation of skill sets, continuous learning. It's very, very important. But it will only happen if we are completely open all the time to explore ourselves. So that is my final advice and expectation or request to all of you. Continuously upgrade your skill sets, continuously be open to get advices or get advice from yourselves. And I'm sure you guys are going to do very well. I'm open to have you anytime to come over to our company and we can have sort of a knowledge sharing session wherever and whenever it is required. So all the best to all of you, and thank you very much for having me here, sir. Thank you.
On behalf of the Soil family, I would like to invite Ms. Bhavna to give Mr. Sharma our appreciation to the time that he has taken out from his busy schedule to come and address the graduating class of the Emerging Leaders Boosters Program. We would like to invite you, sir, to give out the Sudhir Johri Award to an inspired leader of the batch who has displayed values that were true to the Soil family. This award goes to Rajesh Akupar Reddy. So, would you like to say something?
Yes. Thank you so much. I would like to cover not only about this, about my experience as well. So, good evening to all of you. I must say I have been very fortunate enough to get associated with Soil because after doing my post-graduation in power systems, I've gone through a couple of training programs in various organizations. But I felt that this particular program was quite unique because we have got an opportunity and had a privilege to listen from great masters and the leaders who have been extremely successful in their careers. And not only that, they have made sure that they have trained so many leaders in the market and they have helped to develop so many successful leaders in the market. And I think which is very unique experience to listen from them and learn from them. Also, one more thing is the other programs what we have seen, they are mainly focused on the business for the 1 week session or 2 week session, something like that. But the Soil, the ELBP program, what I have seen, it has been very well customized, and it not only looked at functional parameters, but it looked at various individual development and looking beyond the functional thinking, so which has actually helped us and was very visible and eminent in the projects what we have undergone. In fact, in the projects what I have done and the results what we have already in the last 8 months, whatever we have done, they are extremely impactful. I think it is very well thought of, and it was very much structured, and it was quite intensive program. And at times, I must tell you that when the program, once we did the session and we are going back, We used to feel like we are bucked up with all the activities and we extremely felt stressful, to be very honest. And Nyala used to always be after us. Please send the charter. Please make sure that you are ready for the interview and all those. But once we see something like once we and when we see the end result, we felt extremely happy and helpful because the content what we work is on the real business problems, and they are giving extremely different kind of solutions and impacting business in quite significant manner. In addition to that, we have gone through the coaching sessions. So the coaching session is extremely focused on individual development. Same as I think maybe like a couple of other people, I am having this problem. Like I used to aspire a very broad way, but whenever somebody comes and asks me a point-blank question, what do you want to do after 5 years, or where do you want to go after 5 years? I'm not sure about how the other people used to think, but I used to be like stammering a bit because there are a couple of thoughts going on in my mind, but I'm not clear after 5 years what exactly I want to do. So today I have been taking care of Indian operations as well as supporting the Asia Pac and all those. But somebody comes in, I was hesitant. So the individual coaching session has actually helped us. Now at least I can say whatever vision I have, not only on the business side, but also on the personal side, I have various aspirations and also to do something to the society. So I've created a calendar through this program and I'm following it rigorously. So I think this has also helped us to create a structure for our own growth and thereby to do something to the organization as well as to the society as well. Team has been extremely wonderful. I hope we cherished a lot of exciting moments, and the team. The one more important unique factor is very unique and versatile organizations. The people have come from various organizations, so and they came from various experiences as well. So I think that has helped us a lot to make our understanding more fruitful. Like I come from engineering and manufacturing and operations background. Somebody is coming from sales, marketing, like this. So the experience was very enriching. And the session in Cochin was completely, unique, I would say. So it has also given a different thought process to, towards the mindfulness, which was actually in the first session, which was triggered by Anil in the right fashion, saying that look into the mindfulness and look for your purpose of life. So I think the journey has been extremely wonderful. And last but not the least, this week's session, we were fortunate enough to get associated with Suzy as well. And she has been very kind enough to work with us and help us in terms of learning so many tricks and yoga practices to make sure that we balance ourselves and we make sure that we think in a positive direction and all those. And in fact, she has been all the week, she has been with us. Sometimes we used to feel like, okay, a little bit lazy, but she was on dot at 6:30, she used to be there. And I think, thanks to you, ma'am, and I think I'm sure that this is going to help us a lot to, to have more mindfulness on the personal side and therefore better in the professional life. Last but not the least, this is a wonderful experience, unique experience. And I'm sure our journey will be further actively getting associated and continuing the journey of continuous learning process subsequently. Thanks so much.
Graduating class. So, correct. Manish Sharma. Mr. Manish Sharma.
Looks like you all had quite an enriching experience. Would some of you like to come on stage and share the experience that you had in the last 8 months?
Finish.
First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Manish for again smiling the words what he said. So if we get that was the first thing which he asked. So we were very gratified that he said yes, definitely. Like if you are using us, we will complete it. That's the intention. Before coming here, I never thought that first of all, I was not aware what kind of curriculum that we are doing inside. Though we have been at a position where we are managing people, we have managed people before, but the kind of perspective which this entire program has changed for us, that is something which is amazing. We never thought that, how, like, for example, we just did a session on negotiations, like, how negotiations actually happen. We did a lot of exercises, we played a lot of games, but in it only we learned so many things from each other. And another interesting aspect is, like, I'm coming from hospitality industry, so this is one industry which very different from many. And I always thought that, so I went to hospitality, that was another story. But when I met these guys, I had a very different vision of engineering as well. Like, engineers are great people, they're very intelligent, they do this, they do that. So all that. And mostly, like, I've been meeting all engineers, like, fortunately. So I always thought that they have very good mathematical mind. But I realized, like, think like that in marketing. Like, I've been in marketing and sales for quite a while. Like, even though I worked as a general manager of a few years, and I worked in casino industry, which is very different. Then, so, like, I even, like, managed a small museum in Goa, like, which I would like to speak about. That museum actually taught me a lot about creativity and innovation earlier days. Like the small bit art of the world, which is no longer, it does not exist anymore at the moment. And I won a national award for that, for the most innovative tourist project in India, like in 2006-7. So when I won that award, like, I really didn't had any expectation of the award. And secondly, I never thought that we will ever win that award. But like looking at that thing and then, like today when I'm standing, I really know the meaning of like, that award today. Like, what does innovation all about? Like, all the time, like, in a company or getting like, this is something which I never thought that data is so important and everything can be measured. Like even in behavior, we can measure behavior. Like, this was something which was very new to me. And analytical skills, so many things that I cannot summarize because it's like, 24 days of exhaustive work that we've done. And during this entire journey, also like I would like to thank Susie, like to teach us about yoga. Like my wife would always say, like why do you have to go to the gym? You should do yoga. And I used to believe that yoga, oh, I can't do yoga. It's like, just have to make two poses and what's there. So when I did the Surya Namaskar, I realized it's actually like in one go. So we really the power of yoga. So thank you, Susie, for letting us, like introducing us to yoga properly. And we have apparently made a video like of all the asanas and everything in the morning today, and we're very happy. So these are the kind of things that has like really shaped us, I would say. And like now I know like when I grow in my role and I go further like when I become a formal big leader or whatever like in future, I don't know what is going to come at me, but at least now I feel that I'm prepared for it. That is something which is very important. And I'm sure like all the guys are also prepared for it. We know that when people talk about certain things, how important they are. And it's not like they're just saying it for the sake of saying, but they actually mean it. So we have started looking at all those aspects and we have learned from this. So I would like to invite you.
Really?
The 1 week training, I said no. Right now my job is too busy. I won't be able to make it. Immediately, the guy on the other side, HR guy, screamed at me. What do you think? It's a very prestigious project. You've been nominated a prestigious training program. You cannot better go and read the email about it. Then I read the email. I said, okay. The way he sounded, I said, I'll give it a try. After attending the first session, I made up. Even whatever works comes, the second module, third module, fourth module, I'm not going to miss out any of the modules. For me, this has been a self-realization, and it came at the right time. I moved from colleagues have told, the industry veterans have come and taught us. So they are speaking our language.
today we were able to connect with that I feel was very enriching. Plus, the kind of if you call it finance or the coaching skills, all the nutshell, all the experience put into a 3-day module and just giving to us in a week is good to get out of it. I am really happy that I've come here. Personally and professionally, it's been a good launchpad for me. I would definitely be indebted to Soil for this. I thank my company for nominating me for this program, and I wish and the experience that I got from my colleagues, variety of experience in different industries. Takes so much time in all these birthdays to not be able to do it. I think this has been an opportunity for us to meet and get along, and I think we should maintain this group and continue the friendship forever. I think. Thank you so much for all.
As you graduate, as an emerging leader, as soil helps you to take a step forward with ideas that have potential to take this great nation to even greater heights.
But as you touch the pinnacles of success, do not let go of the very ground you stand on, because success belongs to those who keep their head in the clouds, but do not let their feet hit the ground.
On this note, I would like to invite Naila to conclude the ceremony by delivering the vote of thanks.
I'd just like to thank everyone for being here today, especially message from Adil. He is at the airport in Paris and he's watching this whole qualification ceremony live. It's being webcast. Just give me a second. So wishes all of you the best and to become true leaders of character, competence, and enthusiasm. So thank you again. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here. And also, I'd like to invite everyone to the basement for dinner. And the participants are requested to please stay here for the hat tossing ceremony. Thank you.
That background, where is the program? That background or this background?
I think this one.
First photo. Dinesh.
Ready?
Slowly, slowly. All children, right? ठीक है बोल रही है 20 यार
Hey, I want one picture with that person because I have a.
I told him these Gangadhar, from your phone, what about the camera? Bend down. Dead. Shit. Take photo from your phone.
Now. इसके आगे मत आओ.
राजेश हमारा भी ले यार हमारा भी ले इसके पीछे यही चल 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 रेडी रेडी रेडी
This is because this photo everyone can take.
Ma'am, take phone from ma'am.
Dinesh, Dinesh. Hey guys. I'm talking
Jump is well. Jump is well.
Quick jump. This 1, 2, 3, go.
This was broadcast.